Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to put tomato plants in the ground. We're going to plant our tomatoes. And these ones are a little bit leggy. They've been in the little cell pack for too long. And that's not a bad thing, but what we're going to do, nice thing about tomatoes is, you can take these bottom branches off and just get rid of them. Just pinch them off with your fingers and discard them so that you've peeled everything off up to here. And that's how deep we're going to put this in the ground. A lot of plants you can't do that, but you can with tomatoes. And where we snap those leaves off is just going to encourage more root growth and make a stronger plant with stronger stalk. So I'm going to dig a hole a little bit deeper than that plant. Just set it off to the side. This ground was freshly tilled, so it's pretty nice digging. A little bit of heavy clay in here. But just make that hole big enough for that tomato plant. About 1.5 to 2 feet away from the other plants, because it gives you a lot of room to work around your plant as the plant gets bigger. And tomato plants can be quite large when they're mature. So it's nice to have room to be able to weed and later to pick your fruit as well. So what we're going to do, a little trick, we're going to put some antacid tablets in the ground. That's because they're rich in calcium, and tomato plants love calcium. It helps them grow and it makes them stronger. So we'll put a couple of those in there and just cover them with some dirt. And they'll just dissolve over time and the plant will feed from that. Now, my plant might be a little bit deep in the ground. You can just adjust it with some fresh dirt to about like that. So disturb the roots, push it down just a little bit to make good contact with the soil, and then start to gently put your dirt back around it. And what we're going to do, because you can see I'm picking stones out, I've got fairly rocky soil, I'm going to put a tomato cage in. Just one if we can get them apart. There we go. Because I find I can get them in the ground better now when the hole's been dug rather than after the fact, in case I have to move some stones out of the way. And the tomato cage is just going to help the plant as it grows, give it some support, because as I said, they can get quite big, and if they have large fruit, the tomato plant gets quite heavy and will have a tendency to want to fall over. So just take your soil and spread it around like that. A lot of people would probably use a shovel, but I'm on the ground. I don't mind getting my hands dirty. And I'm just going to put the dirt gently around it. It doesn't have to be really rough, because you can snap the little plant off and get that little leaf out of there. And then just press the soil around it a little bit to help support the plant. And leave ever such a little bit of a well here so that when it rains or when you're sprinkling, watering your tomato plant, the water runs towards the plant, not away from the plant. Okay, so there we have it in the ground. Now the key to growing a really nice tomato plant is in the watering. If you let the plant dry out too much and then give it a heavy watering, that's what causes the skin to crack on the plant. Because it tries to absorb lots of water really quickly, it'll crack. If you keep the ground sort of constantly moist, then it's not looking for water all the time, and it'll grow a nicer, more even fruit, and the skin won't crack on your tomato plants. That's how you put a tomato plant in the ground.